This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the official stream AL all playoffs and championships, stretching across 10 counties, 2,000 broadcasts a year, live and forever archived. Trib, hssn.triblive.com.
The high school football tradition in Beaver County lives right here on Beaver County Radio.
It is complete to John Lucas after 30, 20, 10, 5,
Snap is good. It is down. The kick is up and good.
He's got room. 10-5 touchdown. You better believe it.
Today's game coverage is being brought to you by Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Beaver County Career Technology Center, the Community College of Beaver County, Electric Garage Door Sales, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Tri-State Neuropathy, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fry Transportation, Keystone Wellness Programs, Drug-Free Aliquippa, the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, and the Lockwood Insurance Agency, among others. Now it's time to go into the broadcast booth as 2022 high school football comes your way on 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, Facebook Live, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
It's homecoming here on this final Friday, final day of September 2022, and the Central Valley Warriors. Well, the last time we saw them was in week 1, actually. It was the second week of the season. Nothing's changed, really. They keep winning, and they have won 32 games in a row, the 5th longest streak in WPIAL history. And the team that's going to try to knock them off the pedestal tonight, the Blackhawk Cougars, here in Parkway Conference in 4A with John Perrotto on by Barrickman, and our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show is just underway. And John, what a conference that this is shaping up to be. Last week, you and Mike Azadian had a chance to see West Allegheny and Aliquippa. That game goes down to the wire. Now Central Valley has a Blackhawk team that would like to get in the way, because you know that Central Valley is looking ahead to West Allegheny and Aliquippa down the road. But boy, this conference certainly looks like it's headed for a great conclusion.
Yeah, it really is. Excuse me. Yeah, you have two really high-quality teams in Aliquippa and Central Valley. You have West Allegheny, who is very good. I had them last Friday night, and they came very close to knocking off Aliquippa. It was a really good game. Aliquippa only winning by 3 and pulling the game out in the final minutes. And I wouldn't exactly sleep on Blackhawk, Bob. I know they got off to a rough start. They lost their first 2 games to Beaver Falls and Highlands. Only scored 1 touchdown total in those 2 games, and that came against the second-team Beaver Falls defense. But they've really turned things around here. They beat Mars 15-14, and then they started conference play, and they beat Ambridge 31-14 and Shar Valley 33-16. So they seem to get their offense has been getting going here the last couple weeks. And, you know, they have some talent, and it's taken a little while to put it all together. And, you know, they've already won more games this year than they won either of the previous 2 seasons. So, you know, the Blackhawk has a lot of momentum, and if they can pull the upset here tonight against Central Valley, then you've got to consider them to have a shot to win this conference. But I think, you know, realistically, they are the underdog coming into this game.
Well, you can make an argument that they're the most improved team in the area in the last 5-6 weeks, because we did that game, the opener at Blackhawk Stadium, and Blackhawk just looked like a team that it was a work in progress. But then when they beat Mars, it was like, wow. Okay, you have Eric Kasparovich, who won a couple state titles. I know they were at Pine Richland, but he had a great coaching pedigree and a good program in Mars. and all of a sudden Blackhawk knocks them off, and then they win their first 2 conference games. Zach Hayward is a strong young coach. The Geneva grad took Blackhawk to a couple nice runs into the playoffs, but it's been kind of soft the last couple years. But it looks like they're back on track again, even though, as you kind of insinuated, John, this is a major challenge tonight.
It is, and, that's not a mark against Blackhawk as much as it is how good Central Valley is, and Central Valley has just rolled over all of their opponents so far, Bob. You look, they beat Trinity by 23 in week 0, then they beat Avonworth by 15 in their second game, and we did that game, and as seeing that game, Avonworth scored a couple of late touchdowns to make that final margin better than it really was. Then they beat Hampton 48-9, beat Chartiers Valley 58-13 in their conference opener, and waxed Newcastle 54-0 last week. And they won all their games by at least 15 points, and they've been awfully hard to beat. Now, you can make a case they haven't played the strongest schedule of any of the unbeaten teams in the WPIAL. They still look awfully good to me, and when we saw them play, very, very impressive on both sides of the ball.
Well, Brett Fitzsimmons is now the star Fitzsimmons. His brothers are gone. Sean now at Pitt. Reed was a good player a few years ago. But Sean Fitzsimmons, who just couldn't get on the field enough because of Landon Alexander. Now he's running like crazy. They got the experienced quarterback in Antoine Johnson, and the receiver in Javen Thompson. He's like a highlight reel ready to go off at any time. It seems like, I think you mentioned that when we did this team or I guess it was last month or the very beginning of this month, that the guy looks like he could score on almost any possession, any snap.
They really, they can score from anywhere on the field at any time. They're that explosive as a team. You look at Brett Fitzsimmons. He's averaging double digits a carry, which is pretty amazing this deep into the season. He's got 679 yards, and he's only carried the ball 45 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. And after this timeout, we'll look at the games that Frank Sparks, our producer, will be checking from the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk. Our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show continues from Sarge Elbert Stadium in Center Township. It's undefeated Central Valley and Blackhawk tonight on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of, a team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team?
Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County.
Confidence happens here.
Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. On here.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
You're listening to high school football on Beaver County Radio, now in our 75th year of covering gridiron action. Coverage is being brought to you by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Lockwood Insurance Agency, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Programs, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Tri-State Waters, Medic Rescue, and Beaver County Radio.
And we return here to Sarge Gilbert Stadium on a homecoming Friday night, last day of September, and it has that fall feeling in the air, but shouldn't be having any precipitation. It's just a good nip in the air and a great matchup tonight, Blackhawk and Central Valley. Let's look at some of the other matchups that Frank Sparks will be looking at tonight before Frank and Bruce Fry will handle your phone calls and the scores on the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. Quaker Valley at Hopewell. Now, John, this game, I'm not trying to build it up because it's our game on WNBA with Rod, Matsey, and Bruce, but this is a game for positioning. I mean, there will be 4 teams that make the playoffs. I get the feeling that the winner of this one might grab one of those spots.
I think they have a chance, and, that will be a good step forward for both programs that have struggled here the last few years. And it is a key game, even though, we're only in week 5. It's getting that time of the year where you start to jockey for playoff positions, and that's a very it's going to be an interesting game.
Moon and South Fayette, the Tigers lost a lot from graduation from a year ago. Other games in 4A tonight in addition to ours. Aliquippa and Ambridge. That's a tough assignment for the former Quip himself and Ambridge coach Sherman McBride.
Yeah, it is, but we'll see what happens there with Sherman. With Ambridge, I'd never count him out. He's a good coach. He's doing a good job with that program. They've lost a few games here lately, but I expect the Bridgers to at least be competitive in that game.
Short Tears Valley at West Allegheny. Good one in 2A tonight. Who would have thought that at midseason that Riverside and Beaver Falls would be the 2 unbeaten teams in the conference? They're engaging tonight on College Hill.
Yeah, they are, and that's going to be a good game. I think people expected Beaver Falls to be right there near the top or at the top of the MAC standings, but I don't think anyone thought Riverside would be. The Panthers only won 1 game last year, but they have a new coach in Fran Ramsden, and you can make a case so far if you had to pick a coach of the year in Beaver County that maybe Fran Ramsden would be that guy. He's really got that program back on the upswing at Riverside.
I saw them last week, a nice win over Freedom. New Brighton at Neshannock. Lions looking for their first win. Neshannock got beat up pretty good last week. at home against Beaver Falls. We'll see what happens there. Elwood City at Mohawk tonight. And in 1A, Rochester at Laurel. Boy, I'll tell you, Laurel, you look what they did in 2A last year. They moved down to 1A. Gene Matsuk, I mean, you never underestimate Gene and his Rams, but they got a tough one tonight.
Yeah, they really do. Laurel's very good, and like you said, moving down a class after playing so well in Double-A, and now they're down back into Single-A. We saw Rochester a few weeks back against New Brighton, and New Brighton's certainly having their struggles with a young team and a new coach this year. But I was very impressed with Rochester when I saw them. I think they will go up and give Laurel a good game. Whether they can beat the Spartans on their home field, that might be a little tough to do. But I do think it's a very interesting matchup, and I don't think Laurel will blow them out by any means.
Other 1A matchups. Our Lady of the Sacred Heart at Chartiers Houston. Cornell visits Burgettstown. The only non-conference game tonight, Beaver at Brentwood. And tomorrow, John Parado and Mike Azadian will be at Rich Neobala Football Field at Industry. Big game. Freedom at Western Beaver. Kickoff at 12:30 here on 1230. 99.3 FM, and of course, WMBA. And tomorrow night, the Pitt Panthers, Saturday Night Fever at Acrisure Stadium, 6 p.m. airtime, 8 o'clock, the kickoff, Panthers against Georgia Tech. We're going to take this time out. When we return, our focus will be on this one tonight. Trick question, when was the last time Central Valley lost a game in this decade? Warrior fans know the answer to that one. Nobody. Their last loss was December of 2019. We'll be back with more with our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open, that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
Hello, football fans. This is Zach Vanderhout with Tri-State Waters, a proud sponsor of local high school sports for over 40 years. I'm the guy behind the scene that makes sure our Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water gets delivered to your doorstep. We have a wide variety of water coolers to fit your decor. Call Tri-State Waters today at 724-774-4644, 724-774-4644, and tell them Zach sent you.
And we continue with our Beaver County Career Technology Center pregame show. It's Blackhawk and Central Valley. The Cougars, they showed their youth when we saw them first game of the year, week 0 officially. But they have a fine young running back. Now, a couple years ago, they had Marcus Watson-Trent. Now they have Maurice Watson-Trent, and he comes into tonight with 342 yards. And they have the young quarterback in the sophomore and Stephen Canali. I have a feeling this team's growing up right in front of our eyes.
I do too. You know, like you said, we saw them opening night, and they had a lot of pre-snap penalties, some holding calls. It was obvious some of their young linemen were struggling to block Beaver Falls' front four. And, yeah, they've certainly gotten better, no doubt. You look at the scores, and they're playing a lot better lately. And I think, you have a sophomore quarterback. You're going to have growing pains. And Stephen Canali, though, he's now got his completion percentage up over 50 at 28 of 51. He's got 293 yards. And, the number that stands out is 5 interceptions. But most of those came in the first couple games. He's really cut down on his mistakes since they've gone on this 3-game winning streak, and I think that's not coincidental. And he has 3 touchdown passes. And the other thing is he has a number of receivers that he can get the ball to, and he does a good job of spreading it around. You look at the receiving numbers, they have a lot of guys with solid numbers, nobody with huge numbers, because everybody's getting their chance to catch it.
Well, you look at Central Valley. 2 years ago, they won the state championship. And then last year, some of the naysayers were saying, well, they're not quite as explosive as their 2020 team. Well, it was explosive enough to win another state title. Now they're saying, with Sean Fitzsimmons gone and Landon Alexander gone and the guys of that ilk, they're not going to be as good. Well, here they are. They're 5-0 on the season, and they're looking pretty good to me. Maybe I'm not the best teacher in the world, but I've seen it. I'm convinced this team can contend once again.
They can, and I mean, you look and again, seeing them one time and talking to people who've seen them on other games, they really don't have any weaknesses, Bob. I don't see anything where I'd say, well, when they run into a really good team, this is going to hurt them or that is going to hurt them. And I mean, Mark Lyons has built this program to the point where it just replenishes it with good players and more good players and more good players. Kids graduate, more kids come up behind them and are good players because they've been coached well, they've been taught well, and they've had so many extra practice hours because of center going to the state title game the last couple of years that, I think that really helps. You get more repetitions into December, and I think that makes the younger kids better. And, as far as, not being explosive, when your star running backs averaging almost 15 yards a carry, that's pretty explosive. And your top receivers averaging about 22 yards a catch.
Yeah.
I'll take that for explosiveness any day.
Yeah, same here. We want to thank the other 3 members of our crew here tonight, Curtis and his dad, Keith Walsh, Austin Crawford. Thanks to those guys. We're on Facebook Live tonight, along with Beaver County Radio's WBVP and 99.3 FM. John Perrotto, myself, Bob Barrickman, Frank Sparks. Frank does the great job getting us the scores from other games from around the valley, and we're just about ready for kickoff. We'll take our final 1-minute timeout. We'll tee it up on the 40 after this on Beaver County Radio. Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Believe it or not, you can celebrate an international occasion without ever leaving Beaver County. This is Cindy Haladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. That's right, we're celebrating International Credit Union Day on October 20th. Come in and find out why credit unions have played such an important role in providing financial services locally and around the world. Friendly.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Blackhawk has won the toss. They have elected to receive. The Cougars on the far sideline in their white tops gold helmets, green trousers, and Central Valley in their powder blue helmets with the blue and powder blue trim and the white trousers. And Central Valley will be kicking off, and one of the better kickers really in the WPIAL, and Serafino DeSantis puts the ball on the tee at the 40, and Blackhawk will try to end this 32-game winning streak that Central Valley has put together in the last 2.5 seasons.
That really is a remarkable streak, and I think after a while you get kind of used to saying that they're on this winning streak, that winning streak. But when you sit back and really think about it, it's really an amazing feat what the Warriors have done 32 in a row.
And we're underway from Sarge Alberts, and the kick, a short one, fielded at the 15-yard line and trying to get to the outside, and the ball was loose. A hit right at the end of the play, and Central Valley recovers at the Blackhawk 35-yard line. The ball was taken by Connor McGraw, and Central Valley already creates a miscue, and Blackhawk will go on defense from the Blackhawk 35.
Well, the last thing you want to do is give Central Valley a short field, Bob. And, if you're going to beat a team like Central Valley, you've got to keep the mistakes to a minimum. So that's a bit of a momentum shift very, very fast, and Blackhawk can't feel real good about that.
Antoine Johnson in the shotgun. He's looks for a big strike. Got it! Touchdown! And hauling it in for the Warriors, De Niro Simpson from 35 yards. One play, a fumble. The next play, a touchdown.
Wow. 15 seconds in, and Central Valley's already up 6-0. Extra point pending. And boy, De Niro Simpson got wide open there. I don't know if it was a blown coverage or just how fast he is, but, he was just right there on the money to pass, and a nice play by center to start the game.
And the Warriors with the extra point, it is up, and it is good. Wow. 15 seconds into the game, we've had a fumble and a touchdown pass. And we'll be back in a minute. 7-0 Warriors on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ethics, and that certified. Another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Campagno returns it from his 10-yard line out to the 20, and Blackhawk gets to put their offense on the field for the first time, but unfortunately for the Cougars, they're already down 7-0.
Well, the one thing, if you're certainly Central Valley, you certainly couldn't have asked for a better start than that if you drew it up. What Blackhawk needs to do, though, is have to realize, you're only 21 seconds into the game, and yeah, you're already down. But there's plenty of game left, and you don't want to panic and try to just do too much here right away to get the, try to even it up.
Stephen Canale, and we have a whistle and a marker and a procedure call against Blackhawk. John, I'm with you. We're early in the game, but you've already seen a lost fumble, and now you see a procedure call. And when you're playing a mediocre team, those mistakes are hard to overcome. Central Valley is not mediocre. They've won 32 in a row, and they're looking like a team that might extend this for a while.
They sure are. I mean, this is, if you're Blackhawk, this is your worst-case nightmare scenario to start the game.
Stephen Canale, the sophomore, and the handoff. Nice run on first down. They get about to 6, so they get 5 plus the 1 bonus yard. And Watson Trent, the ball carrier, it'll be 2nd and 9.
You know, ideally, you'd like to put together a nice sustained drive here and kind of get things under control and gain some control of the game if you're Blackhawk. But that's easier said than done against the Central Valley defense, which keeps getting better and better every week. They pitched a shutout at Newcastle last week. You know, they've been really good as the season goes on. They're getting better.
Canale in the gun. Canale calls his own number, and he is drifted backwards, and the play is whistled dead. And that's going to be no gain officially, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9. The Warriors guess perfectly. They've given up 12.8 points a game, but that's misleading because in blowout wins, they have given their second-line defenders plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, they really have. And you look at their first 2 games, they give up 20 points to Trinity, 22 to Avonworth. But those all came midway through the 4th quarter and later. They held Hampton to 9, Chartiers Valley to 13, and again, second team giving up most of those points and then shutting out Newcastle last week.
In the spread, Canale rolls right. He'll just throw it away. He didn't have a whole heck of a lot of time, and Blackhawks' first series goes 3 and out at Central Valley, chomping at the bit to get their offense on the field again.
And I don't blame them. When you hit a touchdown on your first play, and especially as wide open as Simpson got, and Antoine Johnson just put the ball right on the money, I'd want to get back out on the field too if I were the Central Valley offense and try to really break this game open early, or at least, if not break the game open, at least build a fairly sizable lead.
We're so used to seeing Thompson get wide open. Now you have Simpson who can burn you as well. This time it's Thompson, fields it at his 48, gives a stiff arm, trying to get to the edge, trying to look for another block. But a great play on special teams by Blackhawk, and a marker on top of that. John notices only a 3-yard return, and when a play takes that long to develop, you get the feeling that somebody's hugging somebody else, and this has to go against the Warriors.
Yeah, if they had those like NFL Next Gen stats that they show on NFL broadcasts, I think that 3-yard return in actuality was about 52 yards.
Yeah.
He did a lot of horizontal running up and down the field, but it was good coverage by Blackhawk. Even with the Central Valley hold, Blackhawk still got down there and did a really good job of containing him and not letting him get the corner.
So Central Valley makes their first mistake of the night. They'll start from their own 39, though. They have 2 receivers to the left, 1 in motion, and the give will go to Fitzsimmons. Already a wide open hole. He's at the 45-40, 35-30, puts his helmet down, and a huge gain by Brett Fitzsimmons down to about the 31-yard line. But do we have a marker? Because they're walking way back. So this might go for naught.
I didn't see one, but certainly, like you said, we're moving back. So apparently there was some kind of penalty on Central Valley because they're moving backwards. And that's too bad for them because, boy, what a nice run by Fitzsimmons. He had a huge hole, and he hits that hole so fast, Bob, and he gets by the line of scrimmage so quickly that, that's why he's averaging as many yards a carry as he is.
Well, the hold came during the run. He'll get credit for a 7-yard gain. So it brings up 2nd down and 3. Could have been a lot worse, but still, they're not at the 30-yard line like they would have been. In the gun goes Antoine Johnson, the senior quarterback. Has time, now looking at his pass caught, and that's a 1st down, and that is to Fitzsimmons. Or is that Brady Hudson with the reception?
Central Valley showing the ability to spread the ball around, to get the ball to different receivers already, and it's a tough offense to stop when you have as many weapons as they do.
Javen Thompson right now drawing one-on-one coverage, and now there's a whistle and it's a procedure call against Central Valley. So that's a couple mistakes that Central Valley has made. This will put the ball back at the 49-yard line and brings up 1st and 15.
Yeah, Mark Lyons can't be very happy about that, to see his team have penalties on 3 straight plays when you consider the punt. And that's very uncharacteristic of Central Valley to make that many mistakes in that short a time span.
Central Valley with a 7-0 lead. They recovered a fumble on the kickoff, and one play later, a 35-yard strike to Simpson. This time the pass, and a little bit of contact, but not enough to bring out the flag. It'll be 2nd and 15 as he tried to go downtown to Justin Thompson.
Watson Trent had good coverage there because they were going to get wide open, and Watson Trent bumped him in. Maybe you can make a case that a penalty should have been called, but I didn't think there was enough contact to really warrant a flag, and I think it was a good no call by the officials.
Ball is at the 49 of Blackhawk. 8:48 to go, first quarter. This time the draw play, and it goes to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons gets inside the 40-yard line. A pickup of maybe 5, possibly 6. We'll call it 3rd down and 4.
Well, like I said on the run where he got called back a couple plays ago, he hits that hole very fast.
John, I didn't take into account the penalty. Add 5 yards to that carry. It's a 10-yard gain, brings up 3rd down and 5. Obviously 4-down territory for Central Valley. In the gun goes Antoine Johnson. Johnson, fake, over the middle, bingo! Justin Thompson, Javen, I should say. That was his brother who starred for this team. And Javen Thompson gets the touchdown from 34 yards. And Central Valley leads at 13-0.
Boy, he ran a nice pattern on a slant there and got open. And Antoine Johnson put the ball right on the money again. And you can tell the Johnson and these receivers really are in sync. They're really... Johnson knows exactly where they're going to be, and he puts that ball right there where it's supposed to be.
61-yard drive. Even with those 3 penalties, Central Valley would not be denied. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. We'll see what's going on in other games, including the one on WNBA. Quaker Valley and Hopewell. It's 14-0 Central Valley here on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Renee from the Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allows us to do it, but what we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Call us at 724-774-1230.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
And a short kickoff to the 20, and taking it out past the 30-yard line. And Campagna gets about 14 on the return. Blackhawk moving from right to left, and all's quiet on the scoreboard elsewhere, but not here. 2 quick touchdowns by Central Valley, and the Warriors on top of Blackhawk, 14-0.
Again, you don't want to panic if you're Blackhawk. You're still not even halfway through the first quarter, so, there's a lot of time left. But you also have to have a little bit of urgency. You've got to move the ball here a little bit. You can't go 3 and out and punt again.
Out of the I formation, it goes to Watson Trent. Not much sledding there. He might have gotten a yard. Call it 2nd down and 9. A lot of powder and blue on top of Watson Trent.
Boy, Central Valley's come out hitting on all cylinders on both sides of the ball, Bob. Their defense has been swarming, and, whatever Blackhawks tried to do here in the limited plays they've ran so far, Central Valley's had the answer for it.
4.5 minutes into the first quarter, and Central Valley owning a 14-0 lead. In the pistol formation goes Canale, and the inside handoff, and look out, looked like maybe the ball popped loose for a moment, though the handoff will go to Watson Trent, and Ryland Jeter makes the stop for Central Valley. That'll move the ball to the 36, and it becomes 3rd down and 6.
Well, Bob, we'll see if they put the ball in the air here for the first time tonight. 3rd and 6 be an interesting call.
Well, they did put it in the air, John.
They did,
but really it was just a kind of a defensive, offensive play, if you will.
Yeah.
He just threw the ball away.
Exactly. Yeah.
This time he's got to mean it. Well, they'll try the run again, and they're not going to get close.
No.
They went to Watson Trent off the left side, trying to fool Central Valley. There was no fooling, and the punting unit is on again.
Well, it's got to be a little frustrating for Blackhawk right now. You're already down 2 scores, and you just really, they've tried different things here in the limited time they've had the ball, but Central Valley's there all the time, and I'd hate to have to scheme against this Central Valley defense because they're very good.
Alex Pritchard back to boot for the Cougars. A 50-year head coach, Zach Hayward. Kick is high, good hang time, coming over and taking it is Thompson. Now Thompson will look for some room, but Thompson runs out of real estate, so that's the second good play on special teams. They contain Thompson, who can burn you in a heartbeat, but he does get it out to the 36, so Central Valley will take over from there.
Yeah, Blackhawks done a really good job on their punt coverage team of getting down there in a hurry. And like you said, Thompson is a threat, and he can run the ball all the way back on any punt. But so far he's been limited to 7 yards and 2 returns. And I think any team would take that to hold him that low a yardage figure.
Now the sideline pass. It's caught. Turning it up the field is Simpson, who caught the touchdown pass. Simpson gets it in the midfield and down near the 45 of Blackhawk, and that's going to be a big gain of about 18.
It's just one chunk play after another so far for Central Valley, and Blackhawk just, if you're going to beat Central Valley, you can't let them keep getting those plays of 10-plus yards all the time. It seems like right now, whatever Central Valley dials up is going to be a big play.
De Niro Simpson has been the early star touchdown catch and a 19-yard pickup on the catch. This time on the jet sweep and getting tripped up after a gain of maybe 3. Ryland Jeter, the ball carrier, looks like it's actually going to be a gain of 6. Didn't look like a 6-yarder to me, but that's how good Central Valley is.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like a play. It didn't really work yet. You look at the scoreboard, and it's 2nd and 4.
And in the gun is Johnson. And this time, they had Fitzsimmons pinned for maybe a yard loss, but to his credit, he finds a way to get a yard or so gain. We'll call it 3rd down and 3.
That's the thing with Fitzsimmons, too. Obviously he's fast. We've seen that with some of the long runs he's had this season. But he's strong, too. He can bull and get himself. He hasn't had to do it very often this season, but if he has to, he can bull his way for a couple extra yards.
Fitzsimmons, the sidecar. He'll get the call. Bounces off a tackle. He's on the move, and it's going to be a touchdown. 35 yards. Make a 37-yard pickup for Simmons, and it's 20-0.
we just talked about him bulling for yards. That's why he hasn't had to bull for yards very much this year, Bob. He's so quick to the hole, so quick, outruns defenders. He doesn't need to have many yards after contact. And, Central Valley couldn't have drawn up anything better than this. Up 20-0, still 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter. Make it 21-0.
And the kick is true. Well, the fumble kickoff set the tone. The first play of the game, a touchdown catch to Simpson. And now Central Valley is rolling. The score, Central Valley 21, Blackhawk nothing. We've only played 8 minutes of quarter number 1. Go out and grab a sandwich. We'll be back after this minute timeout on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sport.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Buy Brakeman here for electric garage door sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200. And your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com. What else could go wrong for Blackhawk? The kickoff looked like it was going to bounce in the end zone, but at the 1 yard line, it just took a little hike in the air. Sam Stewart had to field it. It only gets to the 8 yard line. Blackhawk will try again. They'll try the left side, and they're denied. And it might be a gain of 1, second down for the Cougars.
They're having no luck penetrating that center defensive front, that's for sure. They're getting maybe a yard, 2 yards, and center. I understand, Blackhawks not a team that's going to throw the ball deep all the time, but they might want to try something here to loosen up the defense a little bit because center is just teeing off on them right now.
Things must still be quiet at Tony Dorsett Stadium. Have not heard anything on WMBA. There's been a lot of noise here. Look out! Batted ball in the air, and it was close to being picked off. John, at this point, Blackhawk almost has to play not just error-free football, but very affluent football to have any chance.
Yeah, and, you wonder if the kids are already going to get down, mentally. They know how good Central Valley is. They look at the internet, they read the papers, they know what the rankings are, and they know what a tall task is ahead of them here.
3rd down and 10. And this time Canale has no time, and the rush gets to him, and the sack back at the 3. And once again, Blackhawk has to boot the football. Well, this does not look like a Blackhawk team that came in on a roll. 3 wins in a row, including one over Mars. Central Valley, though, has put them in a different shelter.
They really have, and it's obvious Blackhawk's struggling, but I also think a lot of that has to do with how good Central Valley is, and especially the way this defense is played here in the first quarter.
Kicking from the end zone. It's going to bounce, and Javen Thompson will let it just go dead at the 40-yard line. So, actually, special teams has been a plus for Blackhawk in the midst of this 21-0 Central lead. But at least they didn't give Thompson any time to get to the football and run it. and they'll start from the 40-yard line.
That's really about the best case scenario Blackhawk could have had there from its 1-yard line. To be able to back them up at least to the 40. You knew Central Valley was going to get a short field, but it could have been a lot worse. They could be like at the 25 or 30.
Johnson looks. Johnson forced out of the pocket. He takes off. He's at the 15 or the 25, down to about the 24-yard line. A gain of 15. Johnson couldn't find a receiver, so he let his legs do the talking.
Yeah, what a play by Johnson. It looked like he was going to get sacked, and he just sidestepped the rusher, and away he went. And that's the thing about center. These guys have a lot of football sense. You can tell. They really can smell, what in that case, he knew the rush was on, and he was able to sniff it out and able to step up and take off with it. And I'm really impressed. Obviously, they have a lot of talent, but the way that they are scoring here, the way they're showing different moves, it's clear they're well coached, too. They know exactly what to do in each situation.
Well, Mark Lyons' record speaks for itself when you talk about well coached. 201 victories. Now in his 13th year, the only coach in Central Valley history after the merger of Center and Monaca back in 2010. And this program is really riding a crest wave. We have an injured Cougar on the field. We'll get a name for you after we take this 1-minute timeout. Just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Central Valley threatening again, and they already lead at 21-0 over Blackhawk on WBVP and 99.3 FM.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Nate Reed, the injured player, getting some assistance. Doesn't appear to be anything too serious, however. Central Valley football, 1st and 10 at the Blackhawk 24, already leading by 3 touchdowns. This time, draw play, pass over the middle. It's a low throw, and it's going to be, is it going to be a called an interception? I believe so. So Blackhawk is able to get the interception. Dante Campagna, off the deflected pass, was able to catch it before it hit the turf here at Sarge Albert's. So something has gone right for the Cougars, and it's up to Blackhawks offense to take advantage of it. They'll start from their own 28. There is a conference call among the officials just to keep you alert, but it looks like it's going to be Blackhawk football.
You know, you talk about if a team could use a lucky break, certainly Blackhawk could, and the ball deflected right into Campagna's hands, and he had the presence of the mind to have a nice return on it too, but boy, maybe this is the thing that Blackhawk needs to turn its fortunes a little bit, because it's all gone against the Cougars here in the first 10 minutes of the game.
So Blackhawks offense is on the field. They keep Central Valley off the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Now Watson Trent trying to get to the outside, but there just is no room to run. And they get Watson Trent. I believe that was Fitzsimmons who made the stop, and that will be no gain for Blackhawk.
It's got to be awfully frustrating for Zach Hayward, the coach, in the offense. They've tried to run left with no success. They've tried to run right with no success. They've tried to run up the middle with no success. Central Valley just not allowing anything on the ground here at all. Their front seven's really been impenetrable to this
Doesn't
point.
get any easier for Blackhawk. Next week, they will host Aliquippa. That'll be the WNBA game. Central Valley travels to Burco Stadium in Robinson to face Montour next Friday night, and this time to run for about 3 gains. Wisner with the run. They need 7 to move the chains.
Tom Burko once yelled at me many years ago. But anyway, I digress. I can't even remember what it was about, but he yelled at me. I was in a on-tour game, and I forget what it was over. Anyway, let's see what it brings back bad memories when you mention that stadium. But anyhow, we'll see Blackhawk. We'll see if they're going to have to try to go to the air here on this one, I think 3rd and 7.
This time, they'll only get a yard or so. John, the next time I promote that game, I'll stay away from saying the location.
It's long ago. I'm over the trauma. I'm over it. I'm fine.
Well, Blackhawk got a little reprieve on the interception by Campagna, but for the 4th time tonight, their offense goes 3 and out.
Yeah, and it's I know it's a broken record already. We're not now we're at the end of the first quarter.
That'll do it for one. Central Valley has done it pretty well. We've completed 12 minutes. Central Valley 21, Blackhawk nothing. We'll try to get you a score or two from Fry Transportation after this minute timeout on 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, and Trib Live Sports.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a Warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a Warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of, a team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team? Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
Thompson fields it from the 35. Thompson looking for some room. A marker comes down. He'll get about 10 on the return, but they'll go 10 the opposite direction because of the flag.
That is Blackhawks' one saving grace here so far in this game. They have been good on special teams. They haven't let Thompson get loose on punts. They've done a good job punting, and outside of that fumble to start the game, they've done well.
Mark Lyons wanting an explanation. I think he's trying to explain, hey, my guy didn't hold, but I think he's going to lose that argument. But his team's still up comfortably, 21-0. And this will be marked off against the home team on this homecoming night.
Homecoming, we saw Center High School alumnus, forerunner of Central Valley High School, Tom Hayes, your longtime partner here on Homecoming at Central Valley.
Yeah, Tom does the streaming video play-by-play for Central Valley, and always great to see Tom, the Hall of Famer. And they'll mark the ball at the 23-yard line. Central Valley did throw an interception, but they have 3 touchdowns on their first 3 tries. This time it's Fitzsimmons. Not much there. If you could call a 4-yard pickup, not much.
Yeah, that's almost a win for Blackhawk to hold them for 4 yards the way this game has gone so far. And I'd say, Center has the type of offense. They could go on a sustained drive if they wanted to, but they have so many explosive plays, it's hard for them to sustain themselves.
Fitzsimmons again, breaks the tackle, he's in the clear, and he's to the 50, 45, dragging 3 Cougars with him inside the 45-yard line. They'll spot it at the 41.
Boy, that burst, Bob, he has that burst. You look at him and...
But hold the phone, John.
Never mind,
another Hankey is on the field. And as you said, that has saved Blackhawk tonight. Yeah. So Mark Lyons, apparently he's having a disagreement with the officials on what his team is allowed and not allowed to do. But the officials have the power. They vetoed them, and this is going to cost Central Valley dearly with just over a minute gone by, or less than a minute gone by in the second period.
And that's what makes the fact that Central Valley's up 21-0 already remarkable, is they've continually pushed themselves back with penalties. They probably have about 50 penalty yards already, barely more than a quarter into the game. But they don't seem to ever be deterred. It's like, okay, they moved this back 10. We'll just gain it more on the next play.
Back to the 17. They need 16 to get the first. This time it's Fitzsimmons, and he'll get about 4. Or maybe 5 to the 22. 10:40 to go in the first half. And apparently still haven't heard anything coming out of Hopewell, Quaker Valley, and the Vikings on WMBA. Okay. All right. Curtis Walsh tells us that Quaker Valley has taken a 12-0 lead at Hopewell on WMBA. Now back to throw. Thompson, or I should say Johnson, and his pass is caught, and hauling it in was Brady Hudson, but not enough. So for the first time tonight, Central Valley will be booting the football.
Well, even Central Valley's offense proves to be mortal here. They had a 3-and-out, which the way they were been going so far, thought that might be something impossible tonight. So, you know, if you're Blackhawk, you're looking for any little moral victory you can get right now, and that's certainly one, and now a high snap.
But a good punt, and it's going to take a huge roll in the favor of Central Valley. It's going to roll dead at the 23-yard line, and with the roll, a 47-yard punt. So the Blackhawk Cougars get it, but not in the field position that they anticipated.
And that was a great presence of mind there, because that was a high snap and it almost went over the punter's head, but he hauled it in and ended up getting a 47-yard punt. So really, really nice play by Central Valley there on special teams.
Blackhawk football, 9:20 to go in the half. After a quick 21-0 lead, things have sputtered a little bit here. And on first down, again, that Central Valley defense, which might be unheralded, but very efficient. And we got a update from Frank Sparks. Ambridge has taken a 7-6 lead over Aliquippa after a quarter, and that game is at Mo Rubenstein. I know it's only one period, John, as on second down, they get about 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5. But Sherman McBride, well, he knows Aliquippa about as well as anybody could.
Yeah.
And I know it's one quarter, but still a nice start. And some people might say, well, did Aliquippa have a letdown after the close call that you saw last week? Let's give Ambridge some credit, though. I think Sherman has his team going in the right place.
Oh, I certainly do. And Aliquippa got a little slow starting last week against West Allegheny, but I thought Ambridge would be competitive in that game.
Blackhawk very conservative on 3rd down, and on 4th down, they're going to have to give the punter more exercise.
Another 3-and-out for Blackhawk, and frustration continues. They tried a couple different things here. They tried, a quick pass over the middle. They tried a quarterback draw, but still just really not penetrating that Central Valley defense ball.
Blackhawk has not gotten a first down in nearly a quarter and a half of play. Pritchard with the punt, and there's going to be a marker. It's just going to be a matter of if it's roughing the kicker or running into the punter.
I didn't think he roughed him myself. It was sort of almost incidental contact, so it'll be interesting to see what they call here, because you can interpret it either way, I suppose. And I think the officials are going to huddle and see what they think. Well, I guess two of the officials are going to huddle, it looks like. And we'll see what they call here. Again, like I said, even watching it, in real time, it just seemed like it was incidental contact. I didn't think there was any intent or anything like that on Central Valley's part. It was almost like, oops, sorry, I bumped into you kind of contact.
While they're addressing this, and it will go against Central Valley, of course, running into the kicker, I don't know. Apparently that will be a first down. Well, Hopewell has awakened at Tony Dorsett Stadium. The Vikings now lead Quaker Valley 14-12 on WNBA. That's become a good one with Rod Batsey and Bruce Fry. John Parado and Mike Azadian will have the call tomorrow, 12:30 from Industry, as Western Beaver entertains Freedom. Now out of the eye from the 37-yard line. Blackhawk did get the first down on the roughing the punter penalty. So they do get a first down. No thanks to the offense, but special teams has been a bright spot thus far for Blackhawk.
It really has. They fumbled the opening kickoff, and that put them in a hole early. But since then, their special teams has been good. Their punting's been good. Their punt coverage has been good. We haven't had a chance to see their kickoff game because they got the ball first and haven't scored. But, you try to take the victories where you can right now when you're down 21-0.
Ball goes to Marcus Trent. Marcus Trent, or I should say Maurice Watson Trent, his older brother Marcus played a couple years ago for Blackhawk, and he gets to the 44, brings up 3rd and 3, couple scores of interest. In 5A, South Fayette leading Moon 21-0. West Allegheny in 4A with an 8-0 lead over Chartiers Valley. Laurel has grabbed a 6-0 lead over Rochester. More scores in a moment. Big third down for the Cougars. And the draw play going to be very close. Might have gotten the first down as Canale calls his own number. We'll see if they give him the spot. And I'm not so sure they got the spot.
I don't think they did, Bob. No, in fact, he's going to be they got a tough spot there.
Wow.
They called him a yard short, and I think he was closer than that.
I believe he was. I could see inches shy, but Blackhawk in a position where they really need to get something accomplished. So Zach Hayward, the fifth-year head coach, will try for it on 4th down at about a yard from the 46. They crack the line, and they do get the first down. Good push from the offensive line, and Canale sneaks it for a yard pickup, and it's a first down for the Cougars.
Good call there. They got positive yardage the play before, so why not try it again? Like they always say, if you can't make 1 yard, then you're not going to win many games. So they really had to go for it there, Bob, on 4th and 1, already down 21-0.
From the Fry Transportation Update Desk, Rochester has scored 2 touchdowns, and they lead Laurel 13-6. Now around the outside, and this is going to be a loss of 1. Other scores, South Fayette now leading Moon 28-0 after a quarter, and New Brighton continuing to struggle under first-year head coach Tony Kiltori, trailing after 1 to Neshannock, 34-0.
Wow, that's been a tough year for New Brighton, and you feel for them. We talked to some of the kids. We talked to Tony this season. They're putting their heart and soul into it, and it has to get a little frustrating when you don't see the dividends of your hard work right away.
2nd down and 11. And it goes to Watson Trent. Does he get the call? And it does go to Trent. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 at the 49. Yeah, we had Brian Taylor Jr., the quarterback. John, nice visit from Brian on the coach's corner Wednesday night, and fine young man, and you want to see a good guy in Tony Kiltori turn things around. He knew, as well as most people who reside near Oak Hill, that it was going to be a challenging year, and the teams they have to play in this conference are brutal.
Yeah, and they had some tough non-conference games on top of it, Bob, and the schedule did them no favor. And, I feel for them because, nobody wants to go through losing, and especially, the way they've lost. They've really been blown out in a lot of games. And, you hope, and for their sake, that eventually it all pays off in the long run, and they turn into a winning program by taking their lumps. But, boy, right now that's a hard process to go through while you're trying to get your feet on the ground.
Blackhawk will gamble again on 4th down and 4 from the Central Valley 46. It's 21-0 Central Valley, and we have a timeout. And Blackhawk will use one. We'll take a 30-second break. Central Valley leads 21-0. Blackhawk trying to extend their drive here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports. Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. Want to thank Curtis and Keith Walsh and Austin Crawford for the Facebook Live broadcast again, along with our producer Frank Sparks. Frank cranking out the scores from Fry Transportation. He'll be joined by Bruce Fry, who's over at Tony Dorsett Stadium. Good one with Bruce and Rod Matsey, 14-12. Hopewell leading Quaker Valley on WNBA. On 4th down, they go to the run and they won't get it. They tried to go up the middle, and there was no middle to run for Watson Trent, and Central Valley will take over on downs at their own 45.
Got to be a tough situation for Zach Hayward. He's looking at every play on his play sheet. None of them are working right now against the Central Valley defense. And, Central Valley just really playing really well. And boy, it's just, it's 21-0, and Central Valley would, I'm sure, love to put in another one here with 2:32 left in the second quarter.
So Central Valley will take over. Blackhawk, to its credit, has kept Central Valley off the board for quite a while. We'll get you a time frame in a moment as Johnson has to take off with the football, gets pretty good yardage down to the 47-yard line. That'll be good enough for a Central Valley first down. Yes, or will it? Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. I don't know if that was a bit of a mix-up in the backfield or not, or if it was a naked bootleg with the fake. I thought maybe it was a little bit of maybe a miscommunication there, but wherever it was, it didn't really matter ultimately because Johnson turned it into a good, decent-sized run.
Central Valley has not scored in the last 14 minutes, but Blackhawk hasn't scored at all. And Fitzsimmons now stopped on first down. And it'll be no gain, 2nd down and 10, with 2:10 to go in the half.
That's one of the few times they've been able to wrap up Fitzsimmons at the line, even a couple times when they have got him at the line. He's moved forward and gotten 4 or 5 yards on a couple of runs, but a really good job of wrapping him up there and pulling him down.
2nd down and 10. And it'll go to Fitzsimmons for a short gain of 2. And coming up to make the stop, 3 Cougars making contact, and the first one was Tyler Heckathorn. So it's 3rd down and 8, and we have a timeout, Central Valley. We'll keep it here, John. Another score in. Frank Sparks really starting to get us updated. West Allegheny in 4A, trying to bounce back from the tough loss to Aliquippa. They lead Chartiers Valley 16-6. And as we said earlier, Ambridge was leading Aliquippa 7-6 after a quarter. So a couple good games there. The game on WNBA didn't start out well for Hopewell, down 12-0, but they come back with 2 touchdowns, and they lead the Quakers 14-12.
Yeah, nice comeback by Hopewell. You know, you get down early like that, and you can hang your head, but they didn't, and they hung in there. And, you know, speaking of hanging your head, you know, Blackhawks offense has obviously had a lot of struggles, but their defense has played a lot better here since that shaky start, and they've really went toe-to-toe with Central Valley here the last 2 or 3 possessions.
You're right. And now the screen pass, it's caught, looking for the first down. They're going to say that the runner stepped out of bounds short of the sticks, and getting the call, that was Mason Dixon, the sophomore, his dad Tyrone, an assistant coach for Mark Lyons. It'll be 4th and 2, and Central Valley surely will roll the dice here at the Blackhawk 39.
Oh, certainly 4-down territory, especially for an offense like Central Valley's. They really, the way they've stopped Blackhawk, nothing to lose by going for it.
Now Johnson looking over at Coach Mark Lyons, full house behind him. And the second man through, Fitzsimmons gets the first down and adds a couple to spare down to the 31-yard line, and Central Valley in position. Minute 28 to go in the half. Central Valley has used one of its allotted timeouts, so they have 2 remaining. Plenty of time for the Warriors to extend. Back to throw Johnson. Has some time. Can't find any open jersey. And the pass is a little bit too high as he tried to get it to Javen Thompson.
Thompson is incomplete.
They have done a tremendous job both on special teams and defensively on Thompson. He has not been a huge factor. I'll try not to say that too loud because he can explode at any moment.
He certainly can. I mean, he can burn you on any play. But it seems to me that Blackhawk has put a lot of emphasis on making sure that Thompson doesn't beat them. And it's hard. They have so many different weapons to key on one, but that's the way Blackhawks decided to play it, and it's worked as far as keeping him out of the end zone.
Johnson over the middle, and the pass is low of the target. Thompson had a little bit of an edge there, but Johnson skips it on the turf, and it's now going to be 3rd and 10. The later start tonight, Beaver Falls has taken a 16-6 lead over Riverside up on College Hill.
That's an interesting game, as we talked about in the pregame, and interesting here. It's 3rd and 10 for Blackhawk or Central Valley with 1:14 to go in the second half. Bob, let's see. I would think see if they take a shot deep on this one.
Pass down the field, and it's bobbled. Should have been caught, and it could have been a touchdown, but it was bobbled, and it's going to be 4th down instead for Central Valley.
Yeah, the ball was right there, and Brady Hudson just couldn't find the handle on it. Skipped off both his hands and down. And like you said, it would have been a touchdown. And so I think this time for sure they'll take a deep shot on 4th and 10 with 1:07 left. But, yeah, well, they're going to kick a field goal. And I don't blame them because if anybody can make a 48-yard field goal, it's DeSantis.
Well, it's a nice night. He certainly has the leg. We'll see if he can deliver from the left hash. The kick is not going to quite get there. Didn't get all what he wanted on that one, and Central Valley is denied. So after that quick 21-0 lead in the first 8 minutes of the game, they've been kept off the scoreboard. That's the positive for Blackhawk. The negative, of course, they just haven't been able to muster many yards.
No, they just can't move the ball. Their offense, they had a special teams first down, but their offense has only generated one first down in the first half. And, I don't think I'm exactly being Newt Rockney here when I say that you're not going to win many games, especially against a high-quality team like Central Valley, if you don't make a few first downs.
Well, Gene Matsuk has won over 200 games like his cousin Mark Lyons, and Rochester is beating Laurel on the road 21-6. That is interesting.
It is. It is interesting, and like I said, when we saw Rochester, and again they played New Brighton, so it wasn't the best competition, I liked them. I liked what they saw, the Rams on both sides of the ball, and we all know how good of a coach Gene Matsuk is.
Now Blackhawk on second down after a 9-yard pickup. They're going to be stopped short of the first down, so they're going to have to do it on third down. From the Fried Transportation Update Desk, Aliquippa has taken the lead over Ambridge 12-7 at Mo Rubenstein tonight. And Blackhawk, with only 6 seconds left in the half, will try to snap the football before the buzzer. And they do. And they'll just go run. They'll get a couple. And on this homecoming night, Central Valley got off to the explosive lead, and they've held on since. We've completed 2 periods here from Sarge Albert Stadium. The score at the intermission, it's Central Valley 21, Blackhawk nothing. Let's pause for 2 minutes. We'll recap the scoring, all done by the Warriors, here on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP, the new 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas. Facebook Live again tonight, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County.
Confidence happens here.
Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
Believe it or not, you can celebrate an international occasion without ever leaving Beaver County. This is Cindy Haladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. That's right, we're celebrating International Credit Union Day on October 20th. Come in and find out why credit unions have played such an important role in providing financial services locally and around the world. Meet me and my friendly staff. Click friendlyfcu.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
And it's halftime here. As the Blackhawk High Marching Band, you'll hear them as we talk to you about this first half. The way it started, it couldn't have started any worse for the Blackhawk Cougars. They fumbled on the opening kickoff. One play later, Central Valley hooks up with Antoine Johnson delivering a 35-yard strike to De Niro Simpson just 15 seconds into the first quarter, and the extra point by DeSantis made it 7-0. And then Javen Thompson scores on a 34-yard pass with 8:02 left in the first quarter, and the extra point made it 14-0. And then Brett Fitzsimmons goes for 38 yards on the carry, just over 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. And 8 minutes into the game, it was 21-0. And John, I think a lot of people, including you and me, thought, okay, this could go mercy roll pretty quickly tonight. But the Blackhawks credit, they didn't quit. Their defense clamped down. They forced Central Valley to make a lot of mistakes, and they missed the 48-yard field goal right near the end of the half, Central Valley did. But the Blackhawk offense has done little to nothing tonight against a Central Valley defense, which is pretty darn good and may not get enough credit.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Central Valley's offense has been so good and put up such good numbers so far this season that it's easy to overlook their defense, and their defense did have a little bit of struggles early in the year, not a lot, but a little, and they've really tightened up here tonight, and Blackhawk is just anything they've tried to do, Central Valley's had the answer for, and like I was saying, late in the second quarter, you get to the point of the game where you've ran a lot of different type of plays trying to find something that works, and when none of them work, it's got to be kind of a very frustrating, hollow feeling for Blackhawk right now. And to be honest, you say about making halftime adjustments, people talk about that. I'm not so sure what they can adjust here in the second half to gain ground on Central Valley's defense, Bob. I mean, it seems like whatever Blackhawk's done, Central Valley's had the answers. So, we'll see what Zach Hayward and his coaching staff come up with here in the second half. But like you said, Central Valley showed their explosiveness early on, took a 21-0 lead, like right out of the chute, less than 8 minutes into the game. But they've bogged down, and the thing I think what's helped Blackhawk is they've got to the hole faster. When Fitzsimmons early in the game was hitting the hole so hard, so fast that he was already by the line of scrimmage and into the secondary before Blackhawk really knew what hit them. Blackhawks really tightened that up here in the second quarter, in the latter part of the first half, and now all of a sudden Fitzsimmons not quite as much of a factor here in the second quarter, and Blackhawk will have to continue to contain him if they're going to have any chance of pulling off a big comeback in the second half.
All right. We'll give you the one score from WNBA. More scores to come after the halftime interview with Dawn Rebel and Chris Harlan from Trib Live. After spotting Quaker Valley a 12-0 lead, Hopewell now leading the Quakers on WNBA 27-12. Couple minutes left in the first half from Tony Dorsett Stadium, and Frank Sparks tells us that Aliquippa has extended its lead 18-7 over Ambridge. We'll have more scores. We'll take a 90-second timeout and go right into the halftime segment with Dawn and Chris here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Hello, football fans. This is Zach Vanderhout with Tri-State Waters, a proud sponsor of local high school sports for over 40 years. I'm the guy behind the scene that makes sure our Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water gets delivered to your doorstep. We have a wide variety of water coolers to fit your decor. Call Tri-State Waters today at 724-774-4644, 724-774-4644, and tell them Zach sent you.
You're listening to high school football on Beaver County Radio, now in our 75th year of covering gridiron action. Coverage is being brought to you by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Lockwood Insurance Agency, Falcones Moon Township Board, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Programs, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Tri-State Waters, Medic Rescue, and Beaver County Radio.
Much anticipated Week 5 edition of the Halftime Show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. No matter how you slice it, if you want to include Week 0, if you don't want to include Week 0, as far as the regular season, Week 5 is indeed the midway point of the regular season. So, of course, it has become a tradition that, regular co-host Chris Harlan, we sort of, let him stray away, even though it says Chris Harlan there for those watching on video. That's not the case. It's his uncle, Dr. Harlan, who joins us now, professor of Gardner-Omics around the WPIAL. And he's got, gets together at the midway point, also gets together at the end of the season to hand out grades throughout the WPIAL. Dr. Harlan, welcome.
I've got the grade book here. We're going to check out grades at the midterm spot.
All right. Are you grading with a curve or no?
A little bit, but
all right.
You still got to make the grade. You got to make the grade. First in the grade book, let's look at history class. 2 classes right here. 2 schools have an A in history right now. Hempfield and Mapletown both have an A in history. Both are off to historic 5-0 starts. I mean, it's been decades since either of them has won the first 5 games of the season. Hempfield hasn't been 5-0 since 1971. Mapletown hasn't been 5-0 since 1968. To put that in perspective, Coach, the Maples coach George Message, he's coached the team for 40 years. The last time the Maples were 5-0, he was in middle school, and the team's quarterback was an older boy who lived next door to him, he said. So amazing 5-0 for Hempfield, Mapletown. Both right now have an A in history. Some high schools have astronomy classes. Our HSSN high school does, but really you only have 2 options here. You can either study Moon or you can study Mars. This year's course is on the red planet, and Mars gets a B right now in astronomy. Look at what they came into this year, a new coach, new quarterback, new offense and defensive schemes, and yet here Mars is 4-1 at the midway point and doing pretty good. I mean, really the only thing keeping them from an A right now was a 1-point loss to Blackhawk, I think it was earlier in the year. But they're right there, 4-1, and they're in good shape. So a B for Mars right now in astronomy.
Moon was an A. Moon was a scholar student last year. They're just drifting away this year. They're just
they are. They are
drifting into the black hole.
They're in the book here, but you have to go down a little bit farther. Next in the grade book, biology. Maybe there's some future veterinarians here in our class, maybe some zoologists. But to me, when you look at it, an A for the North Allegheny Tigers, an A for the McKeesport Tigers, an A for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. It's been a good year for big cats. Those three teams, all 5-0 right now. They've showed that those three teams, they've definitely got claws and they've got teeth this year. And they're all at the top of the standings right now. Also a good year for Rams. Southside Rams, Highland Rams, both 5-0. But the biology classroom gets a little interesting when we get the Rams and the big cats in the same classroom. So we try to keep them apart and not let them hang out together. But 5-0 starts for all 5 of those schools right now. Next in the book, chemistry. Here we have a C for Central Catholic. They're a team that came into the year as a preseason favorite in 6A. But through 5 weeks, the Vikings just haven't found the right formula. I mean, when you look at what they've got some big-time talents. They've got a lot of new starters. They had some injuries. Mix that all together in a beaker, and you've got a team that was a preseason favorite, but the Vikings are coming into today still searching for their first conference win. But I've seen them play, and I think if they keep working at it, this Central Catholic team could be potent by playoff team, by playoff time. You mix the right stuff together, this could be an explosive combination.
Right now, coming out of that beaker, that fog is not a pleasant smell right
now. Next in the book, geography. And I think when you look at this class, at the top of the class, Aliquippa and Central Valley. And you realize, you look at these two schools, if you look at a map, they're two of the closest you got in the WPIAL. There's only 6 miles apart between the two schools. Remember, both of these schools a year ago were state champions, one in 3A, one in 4A. Now they're in the same conference, both in the Parkway. And right now they're both 9-0 combined, both undefeated. So to me, if you look at that geography, I don't know if there are two schools that are closer right now playing any better than Aliquippa and Central Valley. If you have a map, though, start charting a route to Freedom High School because that's where they're going to meet in week 9. And I think that's going to be a big one, Aliquippa, Central Valley. It's possible they could both be undefeated when they get to that point in the year. Next in the book, creative writing. In this class, I'm going to give a B to Canada McMillan and Mount Lebanon. Get a B in creative writing because these are two schools that came into the year, kind of weren't sure what to expect from them. But they really have changed the Class 6A playoff picture with a couple interesting wins. They've made that 6A playoff picture a much more interesting story with a couple wins that they've put together. I think most people thought that the 6A class would maybe be the most boring because there was only 5 schools. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of maybe surprises. That's really changed. I mean, now with Canada McMillan, Mount Lebanon, Seneca Valley all tied 1-1, there could be some plot twists ahead. So an A or a B, make that a B in creative writing for both Canada McMillan and Mount Lebanon. Physics. At the top of the class here, 2 teams have mastered the laws of gravity, Peters Township and Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. They have the 2 top passing offenses in the WPIAL this year. Their 2 quarterbacks are 1 and 2 in passing yards. I think what they've shown that what goes up must come down, and in their case, it usually comes down in the hands of one of their receivers. So an A in physics to those 2 schools. And lastly, we'll finish with math. That's a class that some people love, some people hate. It wasn't always one of my favorites. Whether it's algebra or calculus, the WPIAL has seen some big numbers this year. The first number I'll throw out is 700. 2 weeks ago, I think 2-3 weeks ago, McKeesport became the 7th WPIAL school. It was 700 wins. They've been adding those numbers up for more than 100 years, but now they're at 700 wins. Another interesting milestone just reached last week. Stowe Rocks had a quarterback top 4,000 passing yards for the 8th time. 8 different passers in Stowe Rocks history have thrown for 4,000. No other school in the WPIAL can come close to that. The latest was Vikings senior Josh Jenkins. He became the 8th in school history. So an A to Stowe Rocks, an A to McKeesport, and also an A to all the stat guys out there across Western Pennsylvania who on Friday night keep track of these numbers so that we know things like McKeesport's 700 wins and Josh Jenkins getting 4,000 passing yards. So it aid all those stat guys for all the work they do.
That's right. Analytics, right?
It is.
That's what the modern day is all about. Wonderful job, Dr. Harlan. A+ to you for stick-to-itiveness. We'll come up with a new category. Well done. And we will see you in a blink of an eye. It won't be long. So we get week 10. Once we conclude the regular season, get ready for the postseason, we'll bring you back and get the final grades on this 2022 season. For the good doctor, I'm Don Rebel. Enjoy the second half of the game you are watching or listening to here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
And we return. Thanks to Dawn and Chris for their halftime segment, as always, this week. And as the Central Valley Marching Band entertains us on homecoming here at Sarge Albert Stadium, 21-0. Central Valley scoring all their points in the first 8 minutes of the game. Nothing thereafter. But John, as before we look at the scores from Fry Transportation, I think Zach Hayward, I know some people might be saying, why doesn't he open things up more? I think he doesn't want to get into a shootout with Central Valley. I think he wants to stick to his game plan. I mean, yeah, obviously you want to win, but you don't want to get embarrassed. And he's hanging in there, just playing with the cards he has dealt with, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's clear that Central Valley has an answer for everything they've tried to do, and when it's like that, and you're calling the plays like Zach Hayward is, it's got to be awfully demoralizing, knowing whatever you call probably isn't going to work. And again, it's not a reflection of Blackhawks kids and them not being able to run their plays. It's a reflection of Central Valley having such a good defense. And I think Mark Lyons will probably say, if we ask him right now at halftime, if this is the best his defense has played all year, he'd probably say yes, especially considering the caliber of opponent. Blackhawk on a 3-game winning streak, coming in here with some momentum, and Central Valley shut them down. So, yeah, I would like to see Zach maybe at least take a deep shot here early in the second half just to see if they can get some momentum. But I also see your point, too, where you don't want to come in and get in a shootout and get blown out like 56-7 or something, because that, too, can be demoralizing in its own way. But, I've got to give Central Valley a lot of credit here. They've stuffed everything Blackhawks tried to do. Everything. They've gone to both sides, have gone up the middle, and they just haven't been able to do anything. And conversely, Central Valley came out hot. They recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff, scored on the next play, scored on their next 2 possessions, and I really thought we might be going to the mercy rule by the start of the second half, the way it started, Bob. But Central Valley's kind of bogged down, and I think some of that credit goes to the Blackhawk defense. The Blackhawk defense is really stiffened after a really rough start there in the first 7-8 minutes of the game. They've really settled in. And Fitzsimmons, who was hitting the hole and going for big yardage early in the game, he's no longer hitting those holes because the holes are closing up, because Blackhawks doing a much better job of pursuit, a better job of keeping him in contain, and that's exactly what they're going to have to do to stay in this game, because Fitzsimmons can score from anywhere on the field at any time, which he's proven over and over again in the first half of the season.
Well, John, why don't we look at some of the halftime scores from Fry Transportation from Frank Sparks. On WNBA, Quaker Valley scores before the half, and Hopewell leading 27-20. Rob Matsey and Bruce Fry with the call. South Fayette all over Moon at the break, 42-0. Good one from Mo Rubenstein. Aliquippa 18, Ambridge 14 late in the second quarter. West Allegheny leads Chartiers Valley at the break 29-6. After a quarter, it was Beaver Falls 16, Riverside 6. At the half, the Shannick 34, New Brighton nothing. Another score in. Rochester 21, Laurel 12. The Spartans get a touchdown to make it closer, but the Rams lead by 9 at the break. Olsh leading Chartiers Houston 24-0 at the half. Burgettstown 12-0 over Cornell at the break. The only ones we're looking for, Elwood City at Mohawk, and in the non-conference game, Beaver and Brentwood. We'll work on those. Why don't we take a 2-minute timeout? We'll continue our halftime show where Central Valley leads Blackhawk 21-0 here on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of. A team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team? Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
With Bob Barrickman at Sarge Albert Stadium in Center Township for Central Valley Blackhawk halftime here. Central Valley on top of Blackhawk, and they've dominated play tonight. Central Valley, the defending state 3A champion, ahead 21-0 in this Parkway Conference game, and things went Central Valley's way early. They forced a fumble on the opening kickoff by Blackhawk, recovered, scored on the very next play, and then went on to score again on their first two possessions to go ahead 21-0 still in the first quarter, and that's the way it stood at this point, still remaining 21-0 Central Valley. And you know, Central Valley on a 32-game winning streak, and it looks like it'll go to 33 tonight. That's the fourth longest in WPIAL history and the longest in Beaver County history. And Blackhawk looking to stay on top in a three-way tie with Aliquippa and Central Valley for the Parkway Conference lead at 2-0 through the first 2 weeks of the conference season. And Blackhawk would be a little bit of a surprise if they were still on top after starting off the season 0-2, but they've won 3 games in a row to go to 3-2. they've really had their hands full with Central Valley tonight, especially Central Valley's defense. Blackhawk continually trying to gain some yardage to no avail on all kinds of different plays, and Central Valley's defense has really been dominant tonight, and that's made the difference because Blackhawk has stiffened, and they've held Central Valley's high-powered offense down here in the last 14, 15 minutes of the first half, but still a big hill to climb for Blackhawk, and Central Valley still firmly in control of this game at 21-0.
All right, thanks, John. And in the meantime, couple updates. We got a Elwood City score for the first time. Mohawk early in the third period, leading Elwood 20-7, and so the only game that we haven't heard from yet is the Beaver game at Brentwood. We're trying to make a connection there, but basically though we got most of them in, and John, 21-0 again. Give a star to Blackhawk for the effort after getting down 21-0 after 8 minutes, keeping Central Valley off the scoreboard, and but I guess you have to give a star to Central Valley's defense because Blackhawk simply is not threatened.
Yeah, they really have, and we don't have the total yardage figures exact here, but Blackhawk hasn't done much. They've only got 2 first downs offensively, and one of them came on the very last play of the half, so which basically was rendered moot because the clock ran out and they couldn't do anything with it. And, this is it's been a really good defensive effort by Central Valley. And Bob, we're talking about Blackhawk. 50th season of football at Blackhawk High School. Where does the time go? 50 years. And, the forerunner of Blackhawk, of course, was Northwestern, and Blackhawk played for many years at the old Northwestern High School in Darlington, which became the middle school. And our good buddy, Ryan Briggs, the sports information director at Grove City, who tracks just about everything related to Western Pennsylvania football, wants to know, Bob, on Twitter, he asked me, did Bob ever call a Northwestern Wildcat game? I told him, to my knowledge, no, but Bob has been around forever.
No, I cannot give myself credit. I was still, I believe I was right out of high school. I've broadcasted many games at Northwestern Stadium until Blackhawk moved 5 years ago, I guess now. They moved to the new digs right by the high school. But, John, it's funny that you mentioned 50th year of Blackhawk football. This is the 50th anniversary to the day that my favorite athlete ever, Roberto Clemente, got his 3,000th and final hit. And shamefully couldn't believe that 3 months later, almost to the day, he lost his life doing great things for the earthquake victims in Nicaragua. And you look at the 50th anniversary coming up of the Immaculate Reception. Much better topic to talk about than Roberto's death.
Absolutely. And, talking of disasters, a lot of problems in Florida with the hurricanes, but it's not deterred former Monaca Indian and Geneva Golden Tornado John Jeffers from checking in on Facebook to say he's in Daytona listening to the game in Florida. So hello all the way down there in Florida to our old friend John Jeffers.
Okay, well, hello, John. And Keith Walsh, who's handling one of the cameras, he was asking me about Jeff Hardy. 50 years ago this season, Jeff Hardy was the key player for Pat Tarquinio's first ever WPIAL champion at Beaver. So a lot of 50s to look back on. Now we have the second half underway, and Rylan Jeter doesn't get to the 50, but he gets pretty close to the 40 as we begin half number 2.
So Central Valley, I think if I mark lines, even though you're comfortably ahead, I want to see my offense crank it back up here. They really haven't done anything since about the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. And not that I would be overly concerned if I were Coach Lyons, but certainly I would like to see the offense show some more continuity, and they'll go with the counter play here to start the second half to De Niro Simpson for a big gainer.
Oh, inside the 45 of Blackhawk. So Central Valley gets the first down. They started off this game in great shape. They're trying to start the third quarter in the same manner.
Warriors ball on the Cougar 44.
So the 44-yard line is now the line of scrimmage. Central Valley with a 21-0 lead, trying to extend their winning streak to 33. This time the handoff will go to Fitzsimmons, and he'll get a couple down to the 42-yard line. At the end of the first half, Beaver Falls leading Riverside 28-14 from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. And Aliquippa did get a late touchdown in the first half, leading at Ambridge 26-14. Right here it's 21-0. Warriors 2nd and 8 from the 42 of Blackhawk.
It's nice to see that Ambridge-Aliquippa rivalry becoming more of a ball game.
Yeah.
It's been very lopsided for a long time in Aliquippa's favor.
And this time on the run and faking everybody out was Antoine Johnson. He takes it down to the 35. He's about a yard shy of the first down. And I remember when I was listening to the Coach's Corner with you and Mike Gazzadian a couple weeks ago, Sherman McBride brought that out about this rivalry. But he said, you know what? For it to be a rivalry, we got to win a couple games. Well, they're moving in that direction. It may not happen tonight, but they're at least moving in a positive way.
Yeah, they were competitive in a lot of years here over the last, not few years, but quite a few years.
Breaking it and almost going free for the Warriors.
Watson Trent.
And getting the call was Thompson, and he gets the ball down to the 23 and a first down for the Central Valley Warriors.
A couple of jet sweeps on this drive really working, and Central Valley's offense looks back in sync.
Off the left side, Fitzsimmons for about 3. You know what? I get the feeling, trying to borrow from what you just said, John, that even though they had a 21-0 lead, I bet Mark Lyons didn't want to hear any celebrating going on in the locker room.
No, he couldn't have been happy with the way the offense played in the second half. He's got to be happy with this play here.
Yeah, Dixon takes it down to the 2, and Central Valley is within a couple yards of extending their lead. Now a full house set behind Antoine Johnson. And the give goes to Thompson. He tries to leap into the end zone, and he doesn't quite get to the plane.
No, inside the 1, or I guess right on the 1 they're going to spot it. So gave it a good effort, but Blackhawk was right there to meet him. And see, I would imagine we'll just try to power it in here from the 1.
And it's Fitzsimmons, and he goes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. And Central Valley off to a good start after the bands were performing. Central Valley's performing, and they lead at 27-0. And on to attempt the extra point is DeSantis. 2.5 minutes into the third period. Snap down, kick up, kick is true. We'll take a minute break. Central Valley's up to their old tricks. It's 28-0 Warriors leading Blackhawk here on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sport.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. And the kickoff following the touchdown. And from the 10. And getting up past the 20 and to the 25. The Cougars will begin. And the last score we were looking for, the non-conference game of the night, Beaver leads Brentwood at the break, 7-6. Right here, it's 28-0 in favor of Central Valley. And the game on WNBA, it was Hopewell 27, Quaker Valley 20. So that's a good one with Rob Matsey and Bruce Fry.
Bob, another celebrity checking in today. Ken Stats Wonderly from the Post-Gazette listening to the broadcast. We get an email from Ken Stats Wonderly.
And I was talking to Tom Hayes, our former broadcast partner, and doing the video play-by-play. He said that one guy listening to their broadcast, the Tom's broadcast, Mark Vlasic.
Wow.
Former NFL quarterback from his home in Kansas City.
Well, how about that? Mark Vlasic, one of the really good guys. Always enjoyed dealing with Mark the years he was in the NFL, and I worked at the Beaver County Times, and good to hear his name. Good memories.
Back to throw over the middle, and it's just wide of the mark. Blackhawk tried to, and there is a flag, and it looks like Central Valley's going to get hit with the pass interference call. Dante Campagna was the intended receiver, and it would have to be contact, and it is. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed against the Warriors.
You know, sometimes when you're down like this, you need a break of any kind, and Blackhawk will certainly take that. And it was a good call. Hit was a little before the pass got there, and Blackhawk it hasn't moved forward a lot tonight. Has to feel good about moving forward 15 yards, even if it is by penalty. And we'll see if that maybe opens things up for them a little bit.
That'll put it at the 40 with 8:40 left in the third quarter. This time the draw play. Watson Trent looking for some room, and all he finds are a couple of powder and blue jerseys that bring him down for a slight loss.
You know, while I was thinking, like I said, John Jeffers checked in, and John's dad, Jack Jeffers, was the equipment manager for the Monaca High School football team forever. You have Mark Vlasic from center tuning game. It's been a really seamless transition now between the two schools as far as this merger. They really have all gotten behind the Central Valley umbrella. There aren't those factions, well, I'm from Monaca, I'm from Center Township. And I think that's really helped make this merger and this football program be as successful as it has.
From the eye, it is Watson Trent again, and he's hit hard. And he'll go down. He might have gotten a yard of the 40. It'll be 3rd and 10. John, you know what? Long before the merger, Monaca won the state basketball championship in 1982. That happened to be Mark Vlasic's senior year, and he was a very good basketball player too, but he got hurt in a practice and wasn't able to play, and people from Center will probably say, hey, we might have had 2 state champions if he was healthy. Now we got another flag on the play, and Blackhawks going to benefit again on an interference call. It's not a spot foul down at the 20. They'll mark off 15 against the powder and blue.
Yeah, Blackhawk going deep really for the first time tonight and draw the other penalty. And, you know, if there's one thing Mark Lyons, I think, would say right now, if you went up to him right now and say, okay, how do you think the game has gone so far? I think obviously you'd say our defense has played great. And I bet the second thing you'd say is we've had too many penalties. They've had a lot of penalties that they've had to overcome in building this 28-0 lead.
Well, I don't want to make excuses for Central Valley. They don't need my help. They've won 32 in a row for a reason as they mark off the 15. When you get off to a huge lead like that, sometimes you can become a little complacent.
Yeah.
I don't want to say lackadaisical, but you also have to remember, hey, give Blackhawk some credit too. They didn't just wilt. They at least kept their heads in the game.
They have, and they really could have got blown out of this game. I mean, we could be on a running clock right now.
Loose football. Are they going to say that he was down? And apparently that is the call after a 5-yard pickup.
Picks up 5.
So Blackhawk
56, Tyler Costanza on the tackle.
will
Second down 5.
maintain possession. At the 40 of Central Valley, Blackhawks offense, this might be its deepest penetration.
You know, you're getting back to your point. It is well taken. Blackhawk has not quit, and it would have been easy to, as bad as this game started for them.
Canale, hands off and a shoestring tackle, coming up to make the play for Central Valley.
Brought down for a loss by number 27, J.J. Wart.
And J.J. Wart makes the stop. The freshman for Central Valley.
Well, it's almost like he was already lined up in the Blackhawk backfield. He got in there so fast.
3rd and 6 for Blackhawk from the 41 of CV. Canale, sideline pass. It was there, but immediately hit after the catch. No gain. It's going to be 4th and 6. And Campagna hauls it in. He just had nowhere to go. It seems like Central Valley is dissecting everything that Blackhawks trying to do.
It's almost like they know what's coming, almost like in a baseball scenario where a pitcher's tipping his pitches. It just seems like they were so well prepared tonight, the Central Valley defense. They've sniffed out everything.
4th and 6. Canale's pass, and it falls incomplete. Somebody might have gotten a hand on it, but Central Valley will take over on downs. A promising series for Blackhawk, but it doesn't end up with anything on the scoreboard. So the Warriors will take over from their own 41 with a 28-0 lead midway through the 3rd period.
Now, if you're Central Valley, do you try to milk clock, or do you go for it right now, try to hit a big play and get to that 35-point threshold where the clock does not stop the rest of the way once it's a 35-point margin?
This time the handoff. Up the gut, that's Fitzsimmons. And he's going to get a lot of that yardage on 1st down, all the way down near the 21-yard line. A 38-yard gain by Fitzsimmons.
You know, the most impressive thing to me is Fitzsimmons. It's not like they're getting him the ball in space, running counters or running around the ends. A lot of these plays that he gets big yardage on are pretty much basic off-tackle plays, and he just gets to the hole so fast and he just accelerates so well that he turns a play that you're hoping to get 4 or 5 yards into a play where you get 25 or 30, and he does it time after time.
37 yards on the carry. 3 receivers to the right. Sideline pass. It's caught, room to run, and down to about the 7-yard line.
Johnson's pass is complete to number 3, Rylan Jeter.
And Rylan Jeter,
Tackled by Campagna.
a senior. Campagna makes the stop, but it's 1st and goal for the Warriors at the 7.
And, you know, I speculate whether they would go for the big play right away or not. They didn't, but still their offense is so good and back on track now. And I think Central Valley is just starting to wear the Blackhawk defense down a little bit. The Blackhawk defense on the field a whole lot tonight.
And this time a busted play, and they might lose a yard or 2 on it. They just did not have anywhere to go with that one, and Johnson had to eat it.
Yeah, Blackhawk, I mean, the time of possession is very lopsided in Central Valley's favor tonight, and, you know, this Blackhawk defense really hung in there after a rough start. But you can kind of see now they're moving a little bit slower, and they're tired. They've been on the field for a whole lot of time tonight.
Full house backfield. And it's Lawson, and he gets down to about the 5.
Fitzsimmons.
Or Hudson. Hudson with the run. Or did they give that to Fitzsimmons? I thought it looked like Hudson, but
I thought it was Hudson as well.
Anyway, it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 4. Now there's a loose football. Johnson mishandles the snap. He has to fall on top of it at the 5. Now they probably will go for the touchdown. It would be a chip shot field goal for DeSantis if they want to give him some practice.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting call. You want the clock to run, or are you okay with it? And looks like they want the clock to run. They're going for it.
And the pitch out and the touchdown. And this time it was Fitzsimmons. His 3rd of the game, and it's 34-0. And if DeSantis makes the extra point, the mercy rule will kick in.
Well, a nice little toss play to Fitzsimmons, and easy. Walked right in, then no one put a hand on him from 5 yards out.
And this kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a minute timeout. The mercy rule comes in effect maybe a little bit later than we thought so, the way this game started, but it will take effect nonetheless. It's Central Valley 35, Blackhawk nothing on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live Sports.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County.
Confidence happens here.
Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
And DeSantis getting ready to kick. Central Valley came into tonight ranked 3rd in the WPIAL, 5th in the state of Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you, those numbers may mean something, but the teams in front of them better be pretty good. And this time the kickoff goes to the 17, where Blackhawk will put it in play.
Yeah, they better be. And you got to think eventually they're going to be in a tight game. And I get back to the kicker there for a second. Serafino DeSantis. I would think at some point Center's going to be in a tighter game than what they've been so far this year. And to me, and I know he missed the 48-yarder, but we saw him make a long field goal earlier in the year. He's got exceptional leg strength for a high school kicker. And I think he gives Center a nice little edge in a close game come playoff time or even late in the regular season.
I think Blackhawk has inserted a new quarterback. No, I guess that's still Canale, and they go wide on the pitch, and they don't get much there.
Yeah, I think maybe in a different situation, maybe you would try a different quarterback just to shake things up. But Canale's only a sophomore, Bob, and he's shown improvement since the beginning of the season. We saw them opening night against Beaver Falls, and you know, he's at that stage of his career still where you want to get him as many snaps, get him as many reps as possible. So I would say he'll be out there for a little while longer.
2:35 to go in the third quarter. And the mercy rule, and we have a marker against Blackhawk illegal procedure. Now the clock will stop momentarily.
Procedure against Blackhawk.
The mercy rule's been around for maybe 20 years in that vicinity. And the one thing you notice, or I noticed, John, I mean, incomplete passes, clock runs. But there's still, it's not like it's just every play,
Yeah.
you see the clock just keep running. I mean, there are some stoppages along the way.
I understand you don't want to blow out. You don't want an 84-0 type game.
And on second down, they get a couple to the 15. Under 2 minutes left in the third. We got a score in from Mohawk. Mohawk, speaking of the Warriors, they're leading as well, 22-7 over Elwood City. On that one is at Mohawk tonight. Elwood City still looking to get their stadium refurbished. Helling Stadium, they've had to go on the road. I know we talked about Aliquippa not having a stadium, but Elwood City, Dan Bradley trying to turn that program around, and they're hoping to have it ready by the Beaver Falls game in a couple of weeks.
Well, that would be great. We've talked about this about Aliquippa a couple times on the Coach's Corner and also on the air during games. It's certainly not optimal not to have a home field. And, in Aliquippa's case, they're not going to be able to play at home all year. And that's really tough on the kids to have to get on a bus for every game.
Pass by Canali. It is, just knocked loose right at the last moment. Malaguis was the intended receiver. It was broken up.
John Peterson breaking that one up. A nice play by Peterson. Blackhawk almost had a rare big gainer tonight, but Peterson right there got his arm in there and knocked the ball away. And a nice play by Central Valley's defense, which is, we've been saying that continually all night, a nice play by Central Valley's defense.
And the clock continues to run on the incompletion because of the mercy rule. 35-0 Central Valley on its way to its 33rd consecutive victory. And we have a timeout, Blackhawk. Couple scores. Got a very good one at Laurel tonight. Rochester leading Laurel 21-19. That's got to be late in the third period. And Beaver in the non-conference game this evening leading 14-6 mid-third over Brentwood. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. 35-0 Central Valley here on Beaver County Radio.
Hello, football fans. This is Zach Vanderhout with Tri-State Waters, a proud sponsor of local high school sports for over 40 years. I'm the guy behind the scene that makes sure our Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water gets delivered to your doorstep. We have a wide variety of water coolers to fit your decor. Call Tri-State Waters today at 724-774-4644. 724-774-4644. And tell them Zach sent you.
And the punt. Thompson sees it hit at the 45, takes a couple yards in favor of Central Valley. They'll start at about the 42-yard line of Blackhawk with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Nate Reed, the freshman punter, has done this wasn't the greatest punt he's had tonight, but on the whole, he's done a pretty good job, often punting from deep in his own territory to keep the mistakes to a minimum and try to give the defense a little room to breathe when Central Valley gets the ball.
And we do have a new Central Valley quarterback. And on first down, I'll tell you, oh my goodness! It looked like he was going to be stopped for a short pickup. And Mason Dixon, he gets to the line again, to the 20-yard line.
Mason Dixon running like Fitzsimmons there, Bob. One of those where you think you had him stopped and he just kept going and going and going, and the next thing you know, you had a 20-yard gain. And they've experienced no drop-off here, at least through one play with the second-team offense in the game.
Stephen Rutherford now in at QB for Central Valley. We've completed 3. Central Valley's headed to victory number 33 without interruption. Central Valley 35, Blackhawk nothing. We go to the fourth from Center Township on 1230 WBVP 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas. Facebook Live, as always, on Friday night, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson.
Tyler Young, the ball carrier. He takes it down to the 2-yard line. Central Valley that close to extending its lead. Stephen Rutherford now the sophomore quarterback. He is in the shotgun. This time the handoff, and they're going to lose about 3. Nice tackle. Tyler Young with the call.
Thomas Price Jr.
And Anthony Malagese, along with Thomas Price Jr., making the stop. It's second down and goal after the loss of 3.
It's a really nice play by Blackhawk. Again, easy to get down after the big gainer, but they come right back and stiffen their backbone up and made a nice play.
Low snap on the end around, taking it in for the touchdown. And that is Tyler Young. And Central Valley now leads at 41-0.
Well, a well-designed play, running around left end, and Tyler Young went waltzing into the end zone there. Good blocking on the outside to open the corner for him. And even with the running clock, Central Valley adding to its lead, 41-0 now with 10:42 to go in the fourth quarter. And looks like we have a new kicker too, Bob. That is Ben Schur.
And the result's the same. It's good for the 6th time tonight. So Ben Schur gets the extra point. We'll take a minute timeout. Central Valley 42, Blackhawk 0 on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live.
Hello, football fans. This is Zach Vanderhout with Tri-State Waters, a proud sponsor of local high school sports for over 40 years. I'm the guy behind the scene that makes sure our Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water gets delivered to your doorstep. We have a wide variety of water coolers to fit your decor. Call Tri-State Waters today at 724-774-4644, 724-774-4644, and tell them Zach sent you.
So the lead has been extended, and we'll try to get you an update on the game on WNBA with Rod Massey and Bruce Fry from Mo Rubenstein. Blackhawk will field it at the 10, to the 20, and to the 23.
Stewart from the 10.
Well, the good part about the running clock, Bob, as we were talking about earlier, is you don't have blowout scores. You don't have 84-0 games where it becomes an embarrassment, obviously, to a losing team. But the one thing with the running clock, though, I do think it hurts maybe the second and third team kids that might get a little bit of game action, which you could use because you never know when you have an injury or something, you're going to need those kids that don't start and get them a little bit of practice, a little bit of reps in a game situation.
This time on first down. And they try to get the ball to Campagna on the pass, and it will be incomplete. The line of scrimmage will remain the 22-yard line. 9:50 to go. And this time a stop in the backfield, a loss of a yard, and Frank Sparks says nothing new at Tony Dorsett Stadium. Still 27-20 Hopewell in the third period on WNBA.
You know, Bob, you look at the score and it's 42-0, and you say, boy, it's been lopsided for Central Valley, and it has been, but they got all their points in bursts. You know, they had a 21-point burst in the first quarter and now 21-point burst in the second. Between that, Blackhawk has actually played them tougher than the score would indicate.
Pass down the middle, and nobody's home. No, wait a minute, I'm wrong on that one. Somebody was home, and the catch was made to Jared Malagese. Or was that Heckathorn on the reception? And that's going to be a big gainer, by far the biggest play of the night for the Blackhawk Cougars, down to the 36 of Central Valley.
Not only does Central Valley defense lose the receiver, but you did too, Bob.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
I know. It's happened more than once, trust me. And this time the pass, it's caught. Possession catch for about 6. Stewart with the reception, and Stephen Canale with the throw, and that'll be a gain of about 5.
You know, if you're Blackhawk, you're looking to draw some positives, and obviously, like I said, the defense played well in spots, but you want the offense to at least have something good to look at when they look at the tape of this game, the film, and maybe here they can punch one in and have something to at least positive out of the whole day.
And they try to go end sweep, and Campagna stopped in his track. I might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up third down for the Cougars. 7.5 minutes to go. Central Valley 42-0 over Blackhawk. They'll win their 33rd in a row when this game goes final. Third down and 6. Canale looks. Canale is going to be dropped on the sack. Just could not find a receiver. And it goes to fourth down, and they're going to need about 10 to move the sticks. As he was dropped back at the 35-yard line, Aliquippa now cruising. After a close game, Aliquippa now leading average 41-14 in the third. Laurel has stormed back from a big deficit, and they now lead Rochester 27-21. Still in the third quarter at Laurel. Blackhawk on fourth down. And the pass down the field, and it is broken up, incomplete. And Central Valley will take over on downs.
Canelli's pass intended for Malagese. Incomplete. Broken up by
So
23.
Blackhawk had a chance there, but Central Valley's
ball. First and 10.
good chance that Central Valley is going to pitch their second consecutive shutout. They beat Newcastle last week 54-0. And tonight it's 42-0.
And the impressive part, even though the offense has been a little spotty at times, Center rolling up more points in the Parkway Conference.
Almost losing the ball, holding on to it was Dixon.
You know, if this score holds, and it may not because there's still 5:25 to go, but right now, Center has scored 154 points in 3 Parkway Conference games, which averages out to over 50 points a game, and that's pretty impressive. I know they haven't played Aliquippa. I know they haven't played West Allegheny, but still, the Parkway Conference, a good conference, and it's hard to average 50 points a game in that conference.
5 minutes to go in regulation. Central Valley on second down might have mustered a yard on that run. Couple scores in for Frank Sparks from Fry Transportation. Montour leading Newcastle 38-0 in the third quarter. And Montour will be Central Valley's next opponent in Robinson next Friday. And the Shannick doing a number on New Brighton tonight, 55-0 in the fourth. This time, keeping it is Rutherford, trying to get to the edge. He does. He gets a block, and boy, that was almost a horse collar tackle. Rutherford, I think, does get the first down at the 45.
Yeah, I think he did make it, yeah, for sure. And they're not even going to measure. He's made it. You know, we haven't had a measurement tonight, Bob. How about that? No measurements. The chain gang over there on the far side having a little bit of a busman's holiday tonight.
Central Valley calls a timeout. Why don't we take a minute break? It's 42-0 Warriors leading the Cougars on WBVP and 99.3.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
And on the run, they get about a yard and a half to the 47. Central Valley football. 3:45 to go. Singleton on the rush.
Tackled by Eric O'Neill and Connor McGraw.
During our Electric Garage door sales postgame, we'll look at the scoring here. Maybe some other scores. If we do have time, we'll certainly pick up bonus round action on WNBA. That was only a 7-point game. Hopewell leading Quaker Valley 27-20 with Robin Bruce. This time on second down, Central Valley cracks Blackhawk territory at the 49, bringing up third down and 4.
Bob, you know we're having a good broadcast when we get the Mike Azadian seal of approval via text that we're having a good broadcast.
Oh,
yes.
That makes me feel relieved. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes when it's 42-0, you wonder if you're keeping the listeners interested. I'm glad we kept at least one interested.
We've left our good friend Mike Azadian from Beaver County Radio interested.
Well, very good. And you and Mike will have the call tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff. Freedom at Western Beaver. That should be a pretty good one.
Should be a good
John.
ball game, yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Western Beaver, my alma mater, which I have to put the purple and gold blood aside for the broadcast, taking on Freedom. Should be a good game.
I'll monitor that one. I'll make sure that you're giving the Bulldogs their love as well.
I'll be checking my phone for the Bob Barrickman seal of approval.
All right. Rutherford gets the first down, and Central Valley on the move. And they get about 6 more down to the 38-yard line of Blackhawk. And under 2 minutes to go. Might be able to get some bonus action from Hopewell tonight.
gain of
Bob,
6.
Bob, we have quite the reach. We've heard from people via email, Twitter, Facebook, and text. All we need is for someone to call us, and we'll have completed the cycle.
When I first started doing this, John, there was no Twitter.
No.
There was probably no texting. No cell phone. I'm trying to tell our audience I'm pretty old.
Yeah, me too. I remember a world without any of that as well. Maybe someone will write us a letter and tell us that we did a good job tonight. That would really complete the cycle.
Jim Carbone from Beaver Falls tells us that Beaver Falls looks like you're going to be in first place all alone, leading Riverside in the third, 36-14. Boy, Beaver Falls last week, 22-0 over Neshannock, and tonight, what is it, another 22-point margin. This time down the left sideline, getting pushed out of bounds on about the 4, and that is Tyler Young.
Number 9, Malachi Farham.
Or was that?
2, pushed out by Tyler Heckathorn.
Was that? I said it was Young, but apparently it was not.
I think it was Malachi Farhan, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Parham with the run down to the 2. Well, will Central Valley, with the time at 13, they're going to let it run out, and a nice gesture by Mark Lyons. There's no reason to try to cross the goal line again. That will do it from Sarge Albert Stadium. Final score, Central Valley 42, Blackhawk nothing. The winning streak is now at 33. Our Electric Garage door sales postgame coming up next in 2 minutes on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Renee from the Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allows us to do it, but what we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Call us at 724-774-1230.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Have peace of mind that when an emergency strikes, we'll be there. That's why a Medic Rescue membership is so important. Medic Rescue has been Beaver County's #1 provider of emergency medical care and transport services for over 40 years. Our trained paramedics and emergency medical technicians are knowledgeable, experienced, and can evaluate emergencies quickly and accurately so that you get the life-saving care you need. Get the comfort that comes with a Medic Rescue membership. Call today, 724-728-3621. Medic Rescue, caring for our community.
Pritchard?
Alex Pritchard, okay.
I thought it was,
And it's time for our Electric Garage door sales post-game show. Central Valley puts up 21 quick points in the first quarter, And then they get 21 in the second half to beat Blackhawk 42-0 to extend their winning streak to 33 games, fifth longest in WPIAL history. And on the season, Central Valley improves to 6-0, 3-0 in the Parkway. Blackhawks record dips to 500 at 3-3, 2-1 in the conference. Looking at the scoring, first play after a fumbled kickoff, Antoine Johnson finds De Niro Simpson for a 35-yard touchdown. The extra point by Serafino DeSantis makes it 7-0. And then Javen Thompson scores on a 34-yard pass. 8 minutes to go in the quarter. The extra point made it 14-0. Fitzsimmons gets his first of 3 straight scores. That's Brett Fitzsimmons on a 38-yard run. 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. It was 21-0. We thought the mercy roll was maybe on its way pretty shortly. Didn't turn out that way. Blackhawk hung around defensively, and Central Valley eventually did get it to the mercy roll, but they had to go to the second half to do so. And Fitzsimmons gets a 1-yard run, 9.5 to go in the third to make it 28-0. And then Fitzsimmons with a 5-yard run, 3:36 to go. That necessitated the mercy roll. The extra point made it 35-0. And then Tyler Young scores from the 5 with 10:42 left. And Ben Schur comes in to kick the extra point. And the final score, Central Valley 42, Blackhawk nothing. This Central Valley club, I know people are going to say, well, wait till West Allegheny shows up. Wait till Aliquippa shows up. Well, you know what? This team doesn't need that kind of naysayers. This team's won 33 in a row. They've done something pretty good, and yeah, they are very good. I'm impressed.
They are very good, and I know people thought, well, they're stepping up to 4A because of the PIAA competitive balance thing, and it's going to be harder for Central Valley in 4A. We'll see how good they are stepping up a class. Well, the Warriors have shown so far through 6 games that they are very capable of playing in Quad A. And you look at inside the Parkway Conference, they played 3 games now, and their average margin of victory nearly 45 points a game. So, they've been dominating teams. Even tonight, at times, their offense didn't click real well. Blackhawk did a good job of slowing them down over the middle portion of the game. But you look up at the scoreboard at the end of the game, well, at least until they unplugged it, and they had 42 points on the board.
Wow. Well, John, we're going to take a break for electric garage door sales. Make sure you visit Robin on Pennsylvania Avenue, Monaca. She'll make sure you get the door that you're wanting for. And we're going to be back to announce our Community College of Beaver County Players of the Game. And time permitting, bonus action from Hopewell. That game's on WMBA. Final score here, Central Valley 42, Blackhawk nothing. Back after this final timeout on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports. It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door by Barrickman. Here for electric garage door sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200. And your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call. 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, Strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details. You're listening to High School Football on Beaver County Radio, now in our 75th year of covering gridiron action. Coverage is being brought to you by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Lockwood Insurance Agency, Falcone's Moon Township Board, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Programs, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Tri-State Waters, Medic Rescue, and Beaver County Radio.
And we start to wrap it up now on our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show. And now it's time to announce our CCBC Players of the Game. John Perrotto with the announcements.
Bob, for Central Valley, you could go a lot of different ways. A lot of people had good games, but we're going with Antoine Johnson, the quarterback. He didn't throw a lot, but when he did, he was on the money with his throws. He helped break the game open early and really ran the Central Valley defense well. And for Blackhawk, a little different choice this week. We're going with their punter, Alex Pritchard. And, you know, he was punting from the shadow of his goal line pretty much every time he punted. And he punted, I believe, 7 times tonight. And he did a really good job of keeping the ball away from Javen Thompson, getting any big returns, which is his specialty on punt returns for Central Valley. And also did his best to give Blackhawk, you know, get them out of a hole from out of the shadow of their own end zone. So the players of the game, Antoine Johnson and Alex Pritchard.
All right, they'll be invited to a future Coach's Corner at the St. Barnabas Studio on 7th Avenue in Beaver Falls. We do it every Wednesday night at 7:05. Looks like we might have a final in 32-13 Mohawk leading Elwood City. That might have gone final, but we won't give you any more scores because the game's still in the balance at Tony Dorsett Stadium because that game, the scoring all was in the first half, and it looks like it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to go to bonus action momentarily. That'll do it for us. We want to thank Curtis Walsh and Keith Walsh and Austin Crawford on the controls here on the Facebook Live, part of the broadcast. For our producer, Frank Sparks, you'll hear from Frank later with Bruce Fry on the Falcone's Moon Township 4 wrap-up show. For John Perrotto, I'm Bob Barrington. Final score, Central Valley wins its 33rd in a row, a convincing 42-0 win over Blackhawk. Momentarily, we'll switch you to Rod Matsey and Bruce Fry as Hopewell entertaining Quaker Valley. That game on WMBA and soon to be on WBVP and 99.3 FM. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for tuning into coverage of 2022 high school football on Beaver County Radio and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. After tonight's game, head to beavercountyradio.com for all the latest scores from across the Beaver Valley. And make sure you keep your dial set to the goal line for action all season long on 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.